Uncle, I'm Star Wars.
Look at this. Watch this. This is the Falcon from the hit film Solo, a Star Wars story. Yeah. Even the little plating comes off. We're just like a bunch of grown-up white man babies. I love Star Wars.
Banana, banana.
Wait, the Millennium Falcons don't fight each other.
Oh.
What are you, stupid?
Star Wars.
Fuck this. Get this crap out of here. Crap. We've got real work to do, gentlemen.
Like what?
We have a wheel of the worst in front of us.
Oh my God.
It has tortured us for years, randomly selecting terrible videos that are painful to watch, leaving only the most disturbing nightmares and scarring the mind for life. Many have tried to destroy it, but true evil never dies. It is only reborn. It's now time to spin the wheel of the worst. I mean, misfortune.
Well, I guess this is how we'll spend our valuable time together, watching terrible videos and DVDs, randomly selected from the Wheel of Misfortune. How much longer can I do this for? Doctor says I got a bum liver. There's so much time left on this planet.
Bum liver?
Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh. Like, I have the liver of a bum.
Oh.
That's how excessively I drink. Also, the liver is bad.
Did you get it from a bum?
I did. I had to have an emergency liverectomy. They replaced my liver, but they could only get one from an alcoholic homeless man, so it was about the same.
Was this, where did you get this done?
Some kind of like it was in a nail salon. But the Asian woman assured me she was a doctor.
Oh, okay.
So she put the liver in your bum?
Yeah, at first. And I had to explain to her that it's like right here, pretty much. It's in a different spot.
It's like right.
So she got out an anatomy book, although I think it may have been a People magazine.
Ah.
Anyways, our first film is called World Wide Web of Deceit. I guess these are the authors. James Robinson and Steve Lane are the creators of it.
Maybe it's these two kids.
Hey, Mr. Wiggle Sessions Volume 1 King Tut style.
Oh my God.
With gangster writing.
We've seen this before.
I feel like I've said this before.
But this has been on the wheel before.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah, you can check his website, MrWigglesHipHop.net.
Net. Sounds like a fake address.
So, I don't know, I'm assuming this is some kind of like dance video.
Yeah, don't worry, we're not gonna land on it. Don't worry. What's up next, Colin?
Oh, Richie Durwald. We've seen this one before too.
He's covered in barbecue sauce.
Yeah, he looks like a rotisserie chicken, or someone put a blonde wig on a Peking duck.
And he signed it.
It is an autographed copy.
I thought that said Rachel dead.
It's a haunted tape.
Oh my God.
It's like The Ring. Well, this next tape is for both of you guys.
Oh my God.
Introducing.
Hug a tree and survive.
No, read the spine.
Oh, Hug a tree and survive Canada.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, clearly it's like a nature video. Probably, I was thinking like Smokey the Bear, like how to prevent forest fires, but the weird thing is it's Hug a Tree and Survive Canada.
Right.
I want to say Hug a Tree and Survive is a series of videos.
And this is Canada.
Is Canada, but they didn't use any kind of punctuation to indicate that.
Rent a friend. Hi, I want to be your friend. Unbelievable, Oprah Winfrey. Is he a joke? Is he for real? You decide. Rent a Friend, America's original video companion. Available for the first time since 1987.
As seen on Letterman, Oprah, People Magazine, CNN.
That's where my doctor gets her information. Oh, apparently Oprah needed a friend.
Oh, doesn't she have Stedman?
I was gonna make a Stedman joke.
The smoothest, keenest friend possible, The Washington Post.
I cannot believe that's real.
Maybe the unbelievable comment is just her saying, unbelievable, I can't believe someone would make this fucking
At some
thing.
point, Oprah did say unbelievable,
Unbelievable.
in her life.
Dot, dot,
so
dot.
it's an accurate quote.
Or maybe he finds Oprah Winfrey unbelievable. I just wanted to put that on the DVD. I find Oprah Winfrey unbelievable.
Well,
Don't you?
There is like a space here, so it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
There is an accidental space there. Unbelievable.
Oh my God. Well, he's the original.
Is the original.
Oh my God. Yes. David Carradine's Tai Chi workout, the fitness program that began 2,500 years ago when he was first starting his career, probably.
It's a nice cover.
This is the packaging suggests there was some care put into this. That in Richie Durwald's case also suggests that. But get your autoerotic asphyxiation jokes ready,
All right.
because it's time to talk about celebration of age, the crowning ceremony.
Croning ceremony.
Jim, tell us all about this one.
Celebration of age, the croning ceremony. Joyous and inspirational older women sharing stories and wisdom, history, and heritage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're in for a ride.
I'm not even sure what this is a picture of.
Oh, is that heaven?
So is that I can't even make heads or tails of that.
I don't know. It's some weird abstract piece.
And
Yeah, with
super.
eyes.
What the hell is the croning? Like an old crone? I hope we land on
Can't
it
wait.
because you hate the elderly.
I don't hate all elderly. Just most.
Just the living ones.
Just the ones that are still alive and in my way.
Speaking of which,
Now, yeah, a wonderful transition to our next tape. Arranging a funeral.
what really happened?
Like, what really happens. We get to see how the sausage is made,
So to speak.
so to speak. In LA and Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, neat.
Apparently there's lots of people dying on
That's
the
when
West
you
Coast.
just die on the border in both countries. We're gonna bury that one half up here and the other half down there. Arranging 2 half funerals. How it really works. You start with the saw and 2 half coffins. Family can fight over who gets grandma's lower half. I don't know what to say anymore. Nightmare never ends. Who's Stand?
Stand to pee.
Stand2p.com. This is actually a website.
Rich, why is this on here? You did this.
Teaching women how to pee standing up.
Our next tape.
S&M, sweatandmuscle.com. The dominatrix workout. Kick the dick, the gimp. Leather mistress Desdemona.
Get fit to be tied.
Mistress Jane.
Dick the Gimp. Oh my God. It's right. I thought you were joking. That's another volume 1.
Huh.
I know who filled this wheel up with tapes.
Next up is the Talking Heads video, Open Flame with David Byrne, grades 7, 8, and 9.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
Oh, is his head melting through the window pane?
Well, the side says code. It's the Canadian Offensive on Drug Education. So this is a Canadian drug educational video.
The Canadian version of Dare. I don't know. This cover makes drugs look awesome.
Brawlin' Broads, hosted by the Boone Brothers, for mature audiences. So this is like, is it like Foxy Boxing or something like that? Or maybe it's
more like bum fights.
bum
I would
fights, so
imagine.
someone's going to die at the end of this.
Are these the Boone brothers?
I would imagine
Because
so.
he looks pretty young. Is this
looks
for mature audiences? He looks like he's 8.
Maybe he just has like a disease.
I'm getting like an American Flatulators vibe.
Yeah,
where
that's not a good
if
vibe.
they're not real fighters, this is all just going to be some fakey
Oh Lord.
sort of like glow, you know, like the fake Foxy wrestling.
I think it's worse than we ever thought.
Oh no.
This tape, I already wanted to have a shower, and I just looked at the box. So it's time to spin the wheel.
All right, Colin, let's spin the wheel.
Wait. I seem to remember you guys having some trouble last time.
1, 2, 3.
How about I spin the wheel? All right, here we go. Here it goes. Oh, Lord. Holy shit!
Oh my God!
Oh! That was really, really close. It's the celebration of age, the croning ceremony.
Libertina, Sita, Ishtar,
These men are pawns.
Hecate, Kuai Yin,
Is she summoning like an ancient demon or something?
She's summoning old ladies.
We have celebrated the commonality of women's
She looks like Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker.
Been through the empty
I was gonna say it's Louis Anderson.
and are beginning to move into a new phase. We have celebrated that new phase with a croning ritual.
Every day we are born. Every
Why are you filming Grandma? You know she's got dementia.
Many women write verse, essays, poetry, or words of wisdom, like Lois.
I'd like to talk to you about the next Star Wars spin-off film.
Oh, Star Wars: A Crone Story. You get Jabba the Hutt's mother, Mon Mothma.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot of old ladies in Star Wars.
Leia.
I would say Aunt Beru, but she got burnt up.
Her corpse is there.
She's there in spirit.
She got Emperor's Jedi spirit.
Okay.
Who does she look like?
Yeah, she looks like a man. Like which man? I mean, the face.
Brian Dennehy.
Goodbye. Looks like Babe Ruth.
As if they were to proclaim our age. To use the hard-won will share an unusual form.
All right, Colin.
Hold on, Jay. I got it framed up from Mike. Okay.
Okay, Colin, go ahead and spin the wheel. Let's do this. Come on, Richie Durwood.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
Hug a tree and survive Canada.
Yeah.
Let's find out how to do both of those things.
A tree is a safe place to be. And if you're ever lost in the woods, a tree can be your best friend. So, hug a tree.
Give me fire water if you want to hear the end of story.
Can any of this be used?
Oh, if Richard says it, I'll use it.
What the hell?
The bag will keep moisture out and my body heat in.
Put yourself inside a plastic bag.
Oh.
You will make things slightly easier for the authorities if you put yourself in the body bag.
Oh, there's a hole.
We got him, boy! Boy!
Get him! Kill him!
He also waved his bag so they could see him.
He's right there!
They see you now.
He's just gonna drop the bag and leave it.
Don't hug her child, you creep.
And then he littered.
It's me, your mom.
And then it cuts back to him.
No, I'm really your mom. Rich Evans, I love this brand new wheel that you've created. What'd you make it out of?
I made it out of wood.
That's really impressive. I really hope we land on a worldwide spider web of deceit.
I'm hoping for that one too. So Jim and/or Colin, it's up to you to save the day.
Sure, I'm Jim.
Right, yes.
I'm gonna spin the wheel.
Go fucking do it.
Oh!
Oh! Oh no, you moved the wheel. The shot's been ruined.
Spiderwebs!
No! What the fuck, man?
Spiderweb!
Legit spin! Oh, my back. I threw my back out, hopping up and down in excitement. Oh, God.
Whoa! It's like Tech War.
Only better.
Why was there a detour sign? What does that have to do with the internet?
Also, make sure you'll not
Look, Mom, the internet.
Again, that is something that the child just gives information about themselves.
The child needs to have.
She looks like she's bored of her own voice. My eyes, I can't keep them open.
So they just lead you until they try to find something that is that you're interested in.
That's right.
Something that strikes a person's particular fancy or interest, whatever. And they like I said, they went to what?
Teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers.
For instance, big black booty.
Well, I mean, the thing is, with 4 tapes,
we're all fucked. Someone's fucked.
Everyone's got to describe one, so that really it doesn't matter who.
We may as well go in order.
We could just assign sequential order from left to right. That'll make it real exciting for our home audience. I'll start. Let's talk about our first film.
Pancreatic cancer.
You have been diagnosed with ... Celebration of Age, the Croning Ceremony. Joyous and inspirational older women sharing stories and wisdom, ellipses, history and heritage. Well, the video starts off naming about 500 famous.
Hello, and welcome to the Red Letter Media commentary track for Batman and Robin. So here we have butt, cock, and that's butt, cock, and that's how we're starting our Batman movie.
You forgot nipples. Can we defend Joel Schumacher for a little bit? Because I know he's capable of good movies. He did Falling Down. He did Lost Boys. I love the Lost Boys. I mean, is this movie really just kind of a studio monster where they wanted campy, child-friendly Batman?
Yes.
I think they're equal to blame.
No, I mean, Joel Schumacher, to me, like Rich said, he's made a lot of good films. A lot of varying films, like compare Falling Down to this.
Oh,
like
sure. 8mm, did anyone see that with Nicolas Cage? That's a pretty dark one.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was him?
Yeah.
That scene where he's burning the giant pile of child porn is very similar to the scene where George Clooney slides down the back of a dinosaur. They're cinematic equivalents.
That's true. He's practically an extra in this movie.
Rich, the most of the audience is here to see Pat Hingle. Okay, not Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Alicia Silverstone, or Uma Thurman. They're here to see Pat Hingle, goddammit. He's a fucking star. So here's Arnold turning people into plasticine wax. I mean ice. This scene is totally out of the 1960s Batman. Like what? So I could just see some studio person going, "What is Mr. Freeze's? He's got to have henchmen. What are they? Well, hockey players.
Yeah.
Because cold. Well, and like
because cold.
My theory is that some executive, it was only familiar with the '60s Batman, grew up with Adam West, and was just confused by the Burton movie, and he, why isn't Batman Camp? Where's the kapow sound effect?
Was it George Lucas? Was he in charge of this movie?
Yeah, it was George Lucas.
Okay.
Where's the kapow sound effect? Robin's a funnier character than we've ever had before.
We're not done yet.
The wire work in this movie is just atrocious, by the way.
But Mike, it's a comic book.
Oh, it's a comic book, yeah. Yeah, that's an infuriating thing that Joel Schumacher would constantly say in his commentary tracks. He doesn't seem to understand the difference between a movie and a comic book.
He's not saying it's a comic book movie.
Right. He says, this is Tommy Lee Jones' first comic book. And you're like, what? But, because like Rich says, comic books are made for 4-year-olds. Right, Rich?
Oh, yeah, I say that all the time.
And then you get to this one, and it's just taking the worst elements of Batman Forever and just amping them up.
Well, they went with a slightly different direction with Batman Forever, a little more goofy. I hate Tommy Lee Jones in that movie.
Yes, that's the worst, probably, villain performance in any comic book movie.
In any movie.
Why does Mr. Freeze have butterfly wings?
Because he was anticipating this happening, Rich. You got to be prepared. Everybody's prepared for everything all the time in these movies.
He was anticipating having to leave the museum in a rocket ship, and that the rocket ship would explode midair, and he'd have to jump out with butterfly wings?
Hey, for some reason, Batman and Robin both had ice blades built into their shoes.
Yes.
And at the end of, well, that's a different movie, but I was going to say at the end of Batman Forever, Batman just happened to bring along 100 coins that are similar to...
that he just throws up in the air. Where was he storing those?
In his butt crack. That's why they showed his butt in the beginning. This is foreshadowing.
Oh, it's foreshadowing. Okay.
That's at least more acceptable because Batman would know Two-Face's little...
Oh, shut up!
...thing with the coin.
I mean, we are about to get Bane.
That's not Bane.
That's Bane. This is Tom Hardy's first time playing Bane.
This is Monster Man, who also happens to be wearing a mask.
Those props are terrible.
Yeah, this is such a bizarre movie because it simultaneously looks super expensive and super cheap.
Yeah,
this movie, it's barely a movie. It's like watching money burn on screen. Well, here we have John Glover as the mad scientist man, who is, of course, Daniel Clamp in Gremlins 2.
He looks really bad.
Oh, I think that's how they made him up for the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, he looked much worse before that. Was she ever huge?
Maybe Kill Bill would be the closest.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah, fuck yeah. I've completely blanked on Kill Bill.
Yeah, I mean, she's never been like, oh, God. I don't know. Who's a big female star?
Kathleen Turner?
Oh my God, how old are you?
Now she's a big female star.
And that's our explanation. Yeah. But he survived somehow.
So he has to remain at 0 degrees. Oh no!
Did they ever make an Alfred action figure?
I hope so, because I would feel very bad for the actor that plays Alfred if they didn't.
What's his name?
His name is Michael Gauch, I think.
No, I think it's pronounced Michael Go.
Oh.
But now he's Michael Gone. Because he's dead.
Wow, that was good timing on that joke, just as he disappears.
Yep.
And here we have the best performance in the movie, Alicia Silverstone. Just a great actress.
Oh, yeah, she's brilliant. She's one for the ages. She
looks like she's had a stroke.
Oh.
Her mouth is...
What's a demographic thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see that. I'm a 14-year-old girl. I don't want to watch Batman and Robin. Oh, the clueless girl's in it. I'm going to see that.
That's the most accurate impression of a teenage girl I've ever heard.
Thanks. There's a touching story about family.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that too. That's a weird thing that they decided that that's what the theme of this movie would be, is family.
It's about family. And that's what's so powerful about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's what Batman's all about.
Because there's so many fucking characters. What else do you do?
I guess.
So here, Alicia Silverstone, whatever the fuck her name is, she even though she could have walked out the front door, she makes because she's a person of free will and not a prisoner.
It's trying to give her some sort of characteristic. She's going to
Alfred,
steal
I'm going to go to the store. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have to make an escape rope.
From a giant fucking mansion that it's possible no one would have seen you leave anyway.
Hey, is this a back lot? Anyways.
And now, even though no one has any clue who Poison Ivy is, she has to put on a disguise. And Bane is also wearing a disguise.
Because, yeah, his face doesn't give it away. Oh, but he has a hat on.
He has a hat on and a trench coat. Did you see this in theaters, Rich?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
So I didn't even bother with this one in the theater.
I saw this movie with a girl. Never saw her again.
Was that during the movie you never saw her again? Where'd you go?
I turned over and...
She said she's going to go get more popcorn, and then she vanished from the earth.
Vanished.
Come on now.
Was it really necessary to give Mr. Freeze the comically large polar bear slippers?
That's hilarious, Jay. It's hilarious.
But it's in a scene where he's reminiscing about his wife who's dying from a disease.
Right.
That contrast doesn't really work.
And really, you put slippers on to keep your feet warm, and Mr. Freeze, his character is that he wants to stay cold, so really it's a contradiction, and it's a real big fuck up. Okay? It's just heartbreaking. Oh my god.
This is the worst ever.
That's like what Arnold looks like now.
Oh. Rich, are you embarrassed that you've read comic books?
I'm embarrassed that I've seen this movie.
Can you imagine a Christopher Nolan movie that just has this version of Mr. Freeze in it?
My mind was wandering there with Uma Thurman and the Bane from Dark Knight Rises, kind of following her around.
Why am I in this movie?
And he would just like punch her and murder her. Let me tell you this, Bane. Come with.
Wait, would it be this version of Poison Ivy and the Nolan version of Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arnold should have been Bane.
Yeah, there you go.
But I guess he probably wouldn't want to just yell like Frankenstein, right?
You just write him differently.
Sorry, correction. Frankenstein's monster.
You have to clarify that.
Weren't you going to get all over that, Rich?
No, I'm not that anal.
Didn't you know that Frankenstein is the name of the scientist and not the monster?
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Did you know that, Rich? That's a common misconception. Oh my god.
Bird
jump! Oh my god.
Here's the thing, Batman. I'll see you later.
There's the photo. She's covering her face, but he's not.
That's great. Is there anything to like about this movie?
No.
Okay, someone make a cum joke.
I was
Rich.
I was holding back.
Who's got it? Who's got it? That's the level we operate on. Look at on his chest.
You almost can't even make a joke. It's just too like, yeah, it looks like cum. The end.
Yeah, I guess. Watch your face.
Yeah, like what is this shit?
It's like the launch codes.
Why? What is happening? Like things are just falling from the sky.
So she's like laughing and smiling. What is this? And there's the logo from the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate him. I hate everything in this movie. I programmed my brain algorithms into the Bat computer. Created a virtual simulation.
This is just nonsense.
So that I can be a slave for eternity.
Oh, look at that! That graphic.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I designed a female bat suit because that's what gets me off.
No. That's it.
Oh, they were supposed to both come off. Oh well.
Yeah.
we just got a top lip.
We're not gonna reset that.
You can see the bottom one start to peel off.
Yeah, it just sort of stuck there.
He took the time to invent a bat ice car?
Yeah, these things are specifically designed to go on ice.
What? She jumped.
Is there an explanation as to why he does Poison Ivy's bidding?
Because he's Monster Man.
He's been zombified.
Breeze in hell.
Makes sense. Why don't you make sense?
Movie? Why don't you make sense? As long as the dog's okay.
People care about dogs.
Whose dog is that?
Wilfred's.
Wilfred.
Wait, is that the only sample? What about everybody else with the McGregor's disease?
All that matters is Alfred.
Maybe they should like analyze this cure and reproduce it instead of giving both vials to a 90-year-old dying butler.
Yeah.
So he could die of something else next week.
Here, Alfred, I got these from a fucking supervillain. I'm pretty sure they'll work. It just looks like a dangerous chemical.
Yeah. Now, why do they all look like they've been living on the streets? They're like covered in soot.
Because they went through a tough fight, Jay. They went through a tough fight.
Even though their faces were completely concealed, somehow dirt got under them.
Yeah, they were clean before.
I know you just had McGregor's syndrome.
Why is there like strip club lighting in this parlor room?
Because Alfred's got his Hugh Hefner outfit on.
Oh, okay.
There's a bunch of bimbos come out and start dancing in a minute. This is now the Playboy Mansion, not Wayne Manor.
What happened to Elle Macpherson? Get her back. Bring in Vendela.
That blue liquid had some Viagra in it. Because it's blue, you get it? It gave me a raging boner.
That's what they're all looking at right here, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's horribly uncomfortable. Except for George Clooney. He keeps looking down at it.
He's into it. He doesn't care.
Alfred's boner comes out next, touches their hands. He just said he's going to need a bigger cave. You know what that means. Project
consultant Bob Kane. Aw.
And Rich, you said Bob Kane is a fraud.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because basically the real creator of Batman is this guy named Bill Finger. Bob Kane's like original version is like entirely different. I think he's wearing like a red helmet, and I don't know if there's even a bat theme. And Bill Finger came in and said, "No, you do this, this, and that. Make him like a bat. Give him like a bat cape. And make it dark. Make it mysterious." He basically did everything that was Batman came from Bill Finger. And then Bob Kane took all of the credit, and Bill Finger died penniless.
Well, thank you for listening to our commentary on Batman and Robin.
I hope we made it less of a miserable experience to sit through.
Watching the movie along with us, you should have just heard the wonderful tones of the Canon Films logo.
Hello, I'm Mike.
I'm Rich.
And I'm Jay.
And you're now listening to our commentary track on the 1986 or 7 film Masters of the Universe.
Starring Dolph Lundgren.
He's gonna be He-Man?
Look at this beautiful matte painting. This is the closest we get to anything in this movie that actually looks like He-Man. We should point out that these opening credits are in no way similar to the 1979 Superman movie.
Not in style or music,
right?
Or
completely different and original.
It's unrelated.
Music by Bill Conti, though, who did the classic score to Rocky. I think it was a we'll spare no expense type situation where they hire the best in the business, but they pay them like the bare minimum.
Here's something I never thought about before, really, until now. It's called Masters of the Universe and not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That seems weird.
Maybe they thought general audiences would get confused and think it's a gay porno.
Oh.
You gotta sneak that gay porno in there.
And this is Eternia, a beautiful
Rich,
Eternia.
you probably remember it better than I do. Both of you, maybe, but...
Why? Are you saying we're old?
Did Eternia look anything like this in the cartoon?
You know what? I kind of hated the cartoon. I think the cartoon just looked like whatever the fuck they wanted to do that week.
Okay.
That's true.
This is the second time we've seen this shot.
Yes, they flip and flop it.
Yeah, but you see it multiple times.
I played with the toys first. I was in He-Man, man, before it was hip. Before the cartoon came out, and then I saw the cartoon. Oh boy, there's gonna be He-Man cartoon, and here's this foppy pink wearing weirdo.
Rich is like the indie music guy who liked the band before they went mainstream.
Except much more embarrassing.
It's a much more embarrassing.
I was into He-Man before it was cool.
Before it was a cartoon.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be Gwildor. More specifically, I wanted to be Billy Barty. He's in a really bizarre movie called Under the Rainbow with Chevy Chase and Carrie Fisher. Have you ever heard of that movie?
No.
It takes place during the filming of The Wizard of Oz. So it's all the little people, all the midgets they're using for The Wizard of Oz staying in this hotel and wreaking havoc. And it's the most tasteless thing because it treats midgets like they're horrible monsters. It treats them like they're gremlins. Terrible movie.
I need to see this.
But Billy Barty's in that.
Is it completely fictionalized?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not based on anything real.
So this is Gwildor's little secret hobbit hole or whatever.
Oh, here's that shot again. Just flopped.
The toys were so awesome.
Well, this is the classic era, the 80s era of make toys first and then make a cartoon that's just a half-hour advertisement for the toys. So you can't really complain about the lack of artistic integrity in this film because, well, look at its source material.
Please don't get close-ups of Frank Langella's face.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned Frank Langella. He's the best part of this movie. He's given it his all. He's trying to play a real villain, unlike Jeremy Irons in like the Dungeons & Dragons movie, who's going completely over the top.
Let their blood rain from the sky!
Frank Langella's trying.
In the cartoon, he's just a floating head, a skull, right? He-Man could have a very successful career here on Earth as a terrible actor.
I've got some good news for you. Kindergarten Cop 2 is coming out.
Oh my God.
I know he's got an engineering degree from MIT, but is he really literally a genius?
Well...
Smarter than you.
Well,
smarter than you.
A lot of people are smarter than me.
We would have to check what his IQ score is, and then
I believe it's up there, though.
Good journey.
Good journey.
Oh, which way do I go? Oh.
One take.
Anyway, so here's our lead character, Courtney Cox, in her very first film role.
Fresh off the heels of playing Dancing Woman in the Bruce Springsteen video.
Yep, Dancing in the Dark. This scene's very Terminator 1-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Courtney Cox is getting off her shift at the fried chicken restaurant. This is all in the He-Man cartoon.
Well, that's when you go to see a He-Man movie, don't you want to see a bunch of drama between a couple of teenagers?
No.
Maybe that's really what you came for.
And here we have Robert Duncan McNeil, as some of you may recognize him from Star Trek Voyager, who plays the very, very interesting character of Tom Paris.
What the hell are you doing?
And also not Tom Paris from the TNG episode with Wesley Crusher, where he gets people killed in a shuttlecraft accident.
Wesley stands trial for a fatal air crash.
What is your explanation, Mr. Crusher?
I have none. How far will he go to hide the truth?
There's no evidence, so there's no case.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
He got one guy killed, Rich. One guy.
That's enough, Mike.
God damn it. Wesley Crusher, of course, did the right thing, because Captain Picard... Oh, no, he didn't. He got caught.
Yeah.
He got
was
caught.
a jerk. He was a little. He
Yes,
was a little shit.
and
that
Picard
episode.
yelled at him, and he's like, you really disappointed me, and he, whatever. So Tom Paris, oh God, we're talking too much about Star Trek. Forget it. I'll tell you later. We talked right over the part where the midget stole fried chicken.
I feel that like here when he just poured all that barbecue sauce into his mouth, because that's obviously a makeup appliance. I'm just picturing it like pouring down to the inside of the makeup.
Yeah, down his little costume.
Yeah.
Paying work.
No, wait, we're cutting from that wacky scene of them eating meat to this mournful scene of Courtney Cox being sad about her parents' death.
So every children's film should have a scene in the graveyard.
Now this whole subplot with her parents is really fucking weird.
Yeah.
The whole like idea that they own a plane, the father flew the plane, and then they crashed the plane. Just seems really pointless.
They're trying to make it more interesting, Jay.
That's not more interesting,
It's supposed
though.
to just a car crash? Well, that's boring.
Get that sad shit out of the movie. Look at the cosmic key.
Where does that gun come from? What is that?
Oh yeah, why does he have a gun now?
I guess he had it.
This alien creature looks like a grandma.
You know what character should have been in this? Stinkor.
Look at this shot. Look at them all standing next to each other. It's just embarrassing.
It's a high angle.
Sure.
When
Yeah, they don't look threatening.
When they introduce them, they use a low angle. You
Yeah.
know, and
Well, that and they look kind of silly.
Well, yeah.
The original vision for the sequence was them busting in on a prom.
That would have been
full prom. That
too
would have been
exciting.
That would have been exciting. Well, it would have been expensive. That's the thing.
And then somebody dumps a bucket of blood on Beastman and just starts licking it up. He likes
Oh, Rich.
What?
Was that a reference to Carrie?
Yeah, it was a reference to Carrie.
They're all gonna laugh at you, Beast Man.
In this movie, it's true.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a coincidence. Thank God.
Is this the back alley to a gay nightclub?
Yeah, we just left our exciting action scene in an empty auditorium to now have an action scene in a dump.
This is a first-time director, right?
And last.
First and last time director.
Oh,
You may find that hard to believe, but
This is a movie that cheaped out on their director. Let's get this nobody. It'll save us some bucks. They probably paid more for the Jimi Hendrix song.
Slacker.
Here we have Officer Strickland, who for some reason, even though they're in like anywhere USA, mid-America, he's acting like a gruff New York cop.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was busting too many heads in New York, and they sent him away. Strickland, we're sending you out to the sticks for a bit. You gotta get your head together, mister.
Gotta solve the crime of who vandalized the high school prom. Oh no.
Oh God.
This is where it lost it for me completely.
I remember seeing this in the theater and this happening and me just being like, what? How did we get to this point?
You don't like the car?
See, these are the scenes between Evelyn and Skeletor that almost feel like a real movie. You can tell it's Canon Films trying to do a bigger thing.
Kind of looks like a real movie. You just have to squint.
How different would the world be if they had made the Spider-Man movie?
Spider-Man, the movie. A live-action spectacular directed by Joe Zito.
Oh, man.
Would it have saved Canon?
No, because Canon mismanaged their films to the point of bankruptcy, Rich.
Yeah, whatever they did with Spider-Man, they would have fucked it up. I think they were going to have Toby Hooper direct it.
Directed by Joe Zito.
It's going to be James Cameron.
Directed by Joe Zito.
Oh no, Lizard Man.
Bye, Lizard Man. We love you. Oh no, now the movie's over. All I wanted to hear the director talk about was how many times those guards that can't see fell off the edge of the walkway. Oh, fuck! I want to hear Frank Langella's voice.
He was actually the inspiration for Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
Why are they throwing Burger King in the sink?
He's doing...
And some oranges.
And some oranges?
He threw a rag at him. Get out of here.
Look at this awkward fight. They're in a tiny kitchen.
Look, what if his weakness were rags? And he would have looked like a genius.
That's true, Rich. That looks like a real knife that he really stabs into the table.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I would not let this man with no depth perception do that right next to my head, but...
I went to see it in the theater, and I thought it sucked. This is one of my first movie cinematic disappointments.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because it wasn't exciting. We're still in this kitchen.
It's an exciting kitchen. It's very lovely. Oh my God, look at that. He found their Hawaiian vacation box.
Gwildor's like the Jar Jar Binks of this movie.
He-Man's the Jar Jar Binks of this movie. Why is he so interested in this? I'll be right back.
What was that weird little movement from He-Man there?
They said Skeletor's coming, and he goes like, I gotta go. Oh my God.
It makes him jump straight up in the air. Now, we haven't mentioned Teela here is played by Chelsea Field, who you all remember from Death Spa.
Death Spa. It's the place for a killer workout. Death Spa, an exercise in terror.
A fantastic weight reduction program. People get so thin they disappear.
She did Death Spa after this.
Oh, is it possible to drop so fast? It's like the box office returns for the second week of Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, she was the lead in that, right?
No, she was just random female that's in the movie. Yeah.
Well, why don't you show off for me?
I never waste effort in the gym. Besides, I'm Beta, you're VHS.
She later on went to become Scott Bakula's wife.
Yeah.
And still is.
She's still married to Scott Bakula. This was an attempt at a big movie. I remember it coming out and it feeling like an event. It feeling like a big blockbuster. And then you see the movie and it's like, oh.
You knew something was wrong.
Oh, even as a little kid, I knew something was wrong. And here's where Courtney Cox turns out to be the stupidest person alive.
Look, even if there's a 1% chance her mother is still alive, she has to take it as an absolute certainty.
We were doing some very important secret work. CIA agents, we undercover.
We just had to let you think that we were dead. Yeah, you now have no sympathy for Courtney Cox for the rest of this movie. Because she's just too stupid to live.
I don't.
Oh, and her character's not that great either.
Oh, you wanted this thing that He-Man wanted too?
Not a coincidence. Oh no.
Oh fuck! I just did something extremely stupid. Just duck. They won't aim down.
This is. I hope that was a stunt double for Billy Barty there, who jumped over that tiny fire.
Yeah.
Because for a little person, that has to be difficult.
Oh, they don't care.
Plus, his costume is just
have him run through that fire.
Maybe that's where a lot of the budget to this movie went. It went towards midget insurance.
Oh.
I bought a fire extinguisher at Kmart. You'll be fine.
Oh wait, no, we had to cut that from the budget. That car explosion blew out all the windows of the shops down the whole street.
Oh.
And they had to come in the next morning and board them up.
They didn't fix them. They just boarded them up.
They just boarded them up.
And then they ran out of town.
Here comes Frank Langella. Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Oh no, here come these little flying discs.
So they were...
Look, oh Jesus Christ, that shot. Yeah, this...
Why are his arms out like that? What, is he not holding on?
It looks like he's skiing.
Oh, look at that man trying not to fall off.
That's the thing, these discs are just a little too small, where it's like, I'm just worried that Dolph Lundgren's going to fall over at any moment. He's upside down.
Woo! Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Here's the greatest couple edits. And then now everyone's kind of fighting. Did you know the sorceress went on to play Courtney Cox's mother in Friends?
I can't believe Emma's already won.
Oh, I remember your first birthday. Ross was jealous of all the attention we were giving you. He pulled on his testicles so hard. We had to take him to the emergency room.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
I did not know that. Because I hated
so many
Friends.
Connection. Can this thing move any faster?
Goodbye.
This is really awkward.
Why did we build this? I can walk.
Oh my God.
So disgusting.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He-Man says, we're going to have to amputate.
And he'll finally use his sword.
Yeah.
He-Man's a slave now. He doesn't have a sword.
Oh, yeah, He-Man's not there. Skeletor took him back to be his slave. Whatever that means.
His shirtless, pantsless slave.
This is a whole movie about Skeletor coming out of the closet.
Does he need the key to open the closet?
Oh! Get more oil for He-Man. Now just kind of stand there. Flex for me. What? What the fuck? You're going to whip me or torture me? No.
Whip, maybe.
Whip, maybe. Torture if you're into it. Depends, what are you down for, He-Man? I've got a boner.
Oh.
Because he's Skeletor? Skeleton?
Oh!
Bone, skeleton, bone.
It took me a while to get that. I wasn't...
It was too clever, I think is the problem.
Well, punny.
clever.
I don't know. Anyways.
I like Billy Barty.
Why?
Because he's great.
Why do you
He's
so love it?
little and charismatic. He's great in UHF.
You ever see the movie Robot and Frank?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That's a good film. Rich, you should watch that.
Robot and Frank?
It's called Robot and Frank. It says Frank Langella.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about too much on our commentary. Just check it out. The two that ran the company weren't filmmakers. They were more producers who just liked to...
Menachem was a filmmaker.
Was he?
He directed, some movies for Canon. I think he directed Delta Force and a few others. Oh, title drop. As he looks right into the camera.
Skeletor, am master of the universe.
The powers of the universe are going to turn him into a Vegas showgirl.
It turns him into the gatekeeper of the Bifrost. See, what they're doing with the Sorceress is good, because her powers are being drained and she's turning old.
Yeah.
It should have been inverted the same way with Skeletor. He should have been like a super buff young Italian man or something like that. And him and He-Man could rub oil all over it. And then he slips on his own oil and falls into a pit.
He slides off the end of their bridge there because there's no railing.
There's no rails.
There's no rails anywhere.
I should have put in the railings. Oh no!
And then after they're done, he slips off and rolls into the pit.
Slackers! Come on, you motherfuckers. All you need is a shotgun to be more effective than He-Man.
Oh, he's just pushing people off the ledge. Everybody stand back and come at him one at a time.
They're afraid.
Watch, here it comes.
Oh, man.
He-Man. Oh, no, He-Man, you pushed the statue over. It did nothing.
I like that statue, He-Man.
It's one of 17 statues. Now we gotta fix it.
But that one was my personal favorite.
Damn you.
Okay, so now here he gets his sword and he shouts, I have the power. But in the context of this movie, that doesn't mean anything.
No, it means nothing.
Oh, that's because the movie's terrible, Jay.
And now, bam, cut to them with no money.
Yeah, here's when the budget.
No,
oh my God! It looks like a student film. We didn't establish that he had to correct the staff, that the staff had any power whatsoever. He just had it, but now it apparently has undone the eye to the universe magic.
Yes.
And now he just jumps off a cliff.
and he yells, ah, as he falls with his mouth shut. Although with that makeup, I guess there's not much of a difference.
Oh, thank God this movie. We were all just waiting here. We could have been helping. But the lights were out.
And now Officer Strickland has like a hot babe with him. Where'd she come from?
Well, in the 15 minutes, they met and fell in love.
Okay.
She's not a sex slave. He's not staying there for the sex slaves.
Okay.
Jay. It's not what they're implying. So this is all very Wizard of Oz-esque. Going back from Oz to Earth.
It's gonna be so hard to say goodbye. I love you all too. Goodbye, Tin Man. Oh, don't cry. You'll rust so dreadfully. Here's your oil can. Goodbye.
Now I know I've got a heart, because it's breaking.
Goodbye, Lion. You know, I know it isn't right, but I'm gonna miss the way you used to holler for help before you found your courage.
I would never have found it if it hadn't been for you.
I think I'll miss you most of all. Are you ready now? Yes. Say goodbye, Toto.
Gwildor's got the little gold ribbons in his beard.
Yeah, it's just
like
a
the lion.
reference to the Cowardly Lion. Wasn't Billy Barty in Wizard of Oz?
He was.
that
As a
old?
small child, he was a munchkin in Wizard of Oz.
Yep. Poor little Billy Barty.
And now it's really bizarre because as Courtney Cox is going through the portal, she turns around. She's like, "Wait, Gwildor, I want to tell you something." And then she goes through and doesn't say it.
No.
And I guess he just figures it out on his own that she wants to go back in time to before her parents were dead.
Yeah.
Did he even know about her dead parents?
Maybe it was just a accident. Strickland has no family back on Earth, right?
No. Or maybe he does, and that's why he doesn't want to go back.
Maybe, yeah.
Fucking alimony.
Here I have unlimited sex slaves.
Oh, and we're not even given like a reveal of the parents. It just cuts to a close-up of her dad reading the paper. You have to have her coming down the stairs.
You
see like over her shoulder or something, and she goes in the room, and the camera spins around, and whoa, there's the dad. But
you have a little magical music sting.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry.
No, he's just sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the director who never directed anything before ever again. There's your answer, Jay.
Okay.
Oh my God.
He-Man is now tiny, and I keep him in this magic ball.
Oh no. I can't wait to go back to Eternia.
I can't wait to see Eternia someday. Oh wait, there's Pig Boy.
Yes.
Richard Sponder. What do you suppose Pig Boy's up to now?
Yeah, I don't know. With a weird ass last name like that, Richard Sponser, maybe he's easy to find.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell everybody that it was a lie that I said he peed his pants on the set. I made that up.
Oh wait, but we're about to get our lead up to the sequel. This is pre-Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back. No, you won't.
Nope.
They had to freeze frame on that because immediately after saying that line, Frank Langella tore that makeup off and stormed off the set.
He started choking on water. Oh, God.
Well, that's Masters of the Universe from Canon Films.
What a quality production.
Was that the start of the after the credits stinger? Was that the first one?
It's possible, Rich. It's possible.
Setting up the He-Man cinematic universe?
Anyway, thanks for listening to us talk about Masters of the Universe.
Good journey.
Oh, good journey. Good journey.
You fucked it up.
I did.
Well, I'm joined once again by Colin. He has come back down from Canada to talk about The Thing, the classic 2011 film starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead. No, I am, of course, joking. We're actually talking about John Carpenter's classic remake, Village of the Damned. No, I should say those were all jokes. We are not talking about those. We are talking about John Carpenter's film, The Thing, from 1982. So with that being said, let's roll a clip of my favorite scene from The Thing. So yeah, we're going to talk about The Thing from 1982. Last time you and I were on a discussion together, we talked about Blade Runner. Not only did The Thing come out the exact same day as Blade Runner, but it came out exactly 36 years ago to the day that we are filming this, which we didn't know until today.
I just found this. Somebody tweeted this morning. That can't be right. I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible.
So that's like the second or third time that's happened on review.
This is so fitting. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I would say this is in my top 5. It's my favorite John Carpenter film of all time.
It's not my personal favorite John Carpenter movie, but I do think it's his best movie.
You're an Escape from New York man.
I love Escape from New York.
Okay.
It has flaws. It's just I personally connect with it a lot.
Yeah.
But The Thing, just on like a a technical level, a filmmaking level.
Yeah.
This is John Carpenter at the top
at the top
craft,
of his game.
yeah.
I think this is like, yeah, from a technical standpoint, from directing, the way it's shot, everything. This is, I think, his best film. I think there was a screenplay by Bill Lancaster, who's Burt Lancaster's son, going around, and initially Carpenter didn't want to do it. And then he had to be kind of convinced, and once he sort of signed on.
There was early in the development of this, I think it was like late 70s, they were trying to make a thing movie, and originally attached was Tobe Hooper.
Really?
Hot off of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh my God, I
Tobe
wonder if it was
Hooper
the same
with,
script.
No, the script was by Kim Hinkle, who
Okay.
wrote Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Tobe Hooper. So it's a completely different movie, but another attempt to remake the thing.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, originally started with 1938 novella, a short story by John W. Campbell Jr. It's called Who Goes There? And I've read it, and I think the Carpenter movie is a lot closer to that short story than the 1951, The Thing from Another World, which was kind of like a corny 1950s monster movie.
Look at me and know what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not your enemy. I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist who's trying.
It's like a big Frankenstein monster.
He is, yeah. I think it's like James Arness and like a kind of, I think he was like a vegetable creature or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just sort of wandering around killing people, and then they just electrocute it at the end. So I think, I read the short story, and it's very similar to the movie. So I think he kind of went back to the source.
Well, yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing is one of those movies when people complain about remakes and how bad remakes are, people always say, well, there are good remakes.
Yeah.
And then you say, what are they? And they say, The Thing. And you say, what else? And they say, The
Usually
Fly.
The Fly.
And then you say, what else? And they say, Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
And which one?
Yeah, which
one of the 25 remakes?
Yeah.
This is the kind of remake you need to do, you know, if you're going to, because I know John Carpenter was a huge fan of the 1951.
So much so he had a cameo by it in the original Halloween.
Yeah, there you go. So he's obviously a big fan, but this is the way to do a remake where you kind of, you know, look at the original, go back to the source, and do something completely different.
Yeah.
And improve on it. You don't want to remake, you know, who would want to remake a good movie like John Carpenter's The Thing?
That's not a remake, that's a prequel, even though it has the exact same beats.
Yeah.
And everything is exactly the same.
Some scenes are complete rip-offs. Like,
well, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. But I guess real quick, the basic premise of the movie, there's this group of American researchers.
So it's kind of a mix of characters. There's like the blue collar guys, and I think like biologists and geologists. You got a doctor, you got Wilford Brimley, who's like the head biologist, and you know, so there are kind of like the nerdy side, and then there's the blue collar guys like Childs, Keith David.
Mac wants the flamethrower. Mac wants the what? That's what he said. Now move.
Is this his first movie? No, it's not. I looked it up. His first movie was an uncredited extra in Disco Godfather, the Rudy Ray Moore film.
Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it. Put your weight on it.
So they're all up in Antarctica in this research facility.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Playing
it's
chess.
The first goddamn week of winter.
Playing computer chess.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
Cheating bitch.
Yeah, the only female character in the movie is a cameo by Adrienne Barbeau's voice.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Gets interrupted when a dog shows up from a nearby Norwegian research facility. Norwegians are shooting at the dog. We don't know why. We don't know what's happening. Turns out the dog is an alien from outer space that can transform into anything and replicate anything.
Yeah. It's like a shapeshifter. It can sort of take the form of humans or whatever the hell.
Yeah. And so slowly over time, everybody starts to get paranoid, not know who's actually themselves and who's the thing, and everybody just gets exhausted and loses their mind trying to discover who or if any of them are the thing.
And how to stop it.
And how to stop it. Yeah, I've seen the movie a number of times over the years, and I've always really liked it, but yeah, the recent kind of Blu-ray re-releases made me really appreciate how fantastic this movie looks.
Oh yeah.
As far as the lighting. Which is Dean Cundey, who worked with John Carpenter a lot.
Actually,
the first half of his career, and then left ways to go work with Spielberg and Zemeckis, and then eventually
Jurassic Park and Back to the Future.
Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually He did Jack and Jill.
What's my name? Dunkachino. It's a whole new game. Dunkachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Well, you can't win them all.
That's the most depressing Hollywood story in the history of the industry.
I think he works in commercials now. I think some of the people that I work with have worked with him.
He did go back, because yeah, Jack and Jill, that had to have been his point, where he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm literally just pointing lights at people and washing everything out.
Or he considered that the kind of high water mark of his career, and he's like, I can't do any better.
But he did go back and do like, kind of like going back to his roots, and did like a low budget slasher movie called The Girl in the Photographs.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't a great movie. It's all right. Cal Penn is in it, but his cinematography is good. So
it's fantastic. This movie is amazing. This is shot. It's anamorphic. It's 2:3:9 aspect ratio.
Classic Carpenter aspect ratio. I know other filmmakers use that, but I always think of it as like the John Carpenter aspect ratio.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He really knows how to utilize a frame.
Yeah, and you get all those. What anamorphic does is it gives you all those like nice blue streaky light flares. Whenever they're sort of shining the flashlight in the lens, you get these like nice flares, and it looks really great.
Yeah,
it looks very cinematic.
So yeah, cinematic and atmospheric. And what I really noticed on this rewatch was the colors of the movie, which I never noticed before, really. Whenever they have a flare out and you have this like this contrast between these really deep blues and this like almost purple, like these highlights of purple.
That was, you know, when I first saw the Blu-ray, like, holy shit, this looks fucking amazing. Like the detail, it looks like it could be released, you know, today, and you'd have no problem with it. And then the opening, of course, is where we first hear the music. The theme, which I sort of credited to Ennio Morricone, but I think the theme was composed by John Carpenter.
Well, that's the interesting thing about the score is like, yeah, Ennio Morricone, he's worked on all these movies and he's a classic composer, and then his score for this movie is just a John Carpenter score.
And you're like, wait a minute.
It's just some tones.
But I think what the situation was is, you know, he had a pretty big budget. It was like $15 million, which was pretty big at the time. So I think he felt, okay, he could like sort of outsource the music at least so he could concentrate on everything else. So we got Ennio Morricone, but the movie took a very long time to finish. So I think Ennio Morricone saw a rough cut of the movie with like unfinished effects and stuff, and just from the notes that Carpenter was giving him, sort of composed all this orchestral score and pieces and gave it to Carpenter. So and said like, feel free to sort of edit it and sort of place it around the movie as you see fit.
Yeah, I know Carpenter went in with Alan Howarth, who he's worked with a few times, to kind of piece in some other bits here and there.
Yeah, but it was amazing just sort of watching the Blu-ray. I don't know if it's just the audio was a lot better than the copies that I've seen before, but I'm like, wow, I didn't like remember all this sort of orchestral music throughout the movie.
It's never like John Carpenter always refers to his scores as wallpaper. He never wants it to like inform the scene or kind of manipulate the scene like some other filmmakers do, where the score is really what drives the feeling or the emotion of the scene.
Yeah.
He always wants it to just kind of create an atmosphere, and so it's always in the background. It just kind of lulls you in.
Yeah, I guess what's sort of like he couldn't really drive the scene if he's not composing to the actual movie, you know what I mean? So he's sort of giving him stuff that he can just sort of pepper in here and there.
Yeah.
So I think there ended up being a lot of unused Ennio Morricone music, which Tarantino actually used in The Hateful Eight.
What works about this movie is that it's functions on two like really kind of like primal fears, which is like isolation and paranoia.
Yeah,
and that's what the movie is. Like, yeah, and it's of course it's thought of as a big like practical effects heavy movie, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah,
but there are long stretches of the movie where it's just these characters, and they do not trust each other, and they're just like kind of losing their mind because they're in the middle of nowhere in the dead of winter.
Who's that?
Yeah, this is like, I think the definition of a slow burn.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love slow burn movies.
You're with these characters in these sort of like dark and cold hallways.
And it just builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just amazing.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
What the movie does really well that the prequel does not, which we'll get into. We keep saying we'll get into the prequel, and all we're going to do is talk about it for 2 minutes and say it sucks. But we don't know who the Thing is for most of the movie. We do have that scene where the dog going down the hallway
You
goes
suspect something is wrong because
something's
of
weird about the dog.
way it's behaving.
We don't know what yet, but you see it go into a room and we just see the silhouette of one of the characters. We don't know who it is yet.
That's right, yeah. And I think Carpenter didn't want anybody to be able to identify the character by the silhouette, so I don't think that silhouette is actually played by any of the actors in the movie. It was somebody else. So yeah, he's sort of like planting all these little like little moments.
First goddamn week of winter.
Technically, it's an ensemble cast, but you know, Kurt Russell sort of, I think, emerges as the protagonist as the movie goes on.
He's the one you root for because he's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, exactly.
And he has the most amazing beards and a giant sombrero.
And a great intro. It's like he's playing this computer chess.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that computer, because I think it says like Chess Wizard on the side. Like
So
that
it's
is a computer that exists solely.
Only for Chess Wizard. Wouldn't it be better just to have like a chessboard or something? Would that be cheaper? Computers back then, this is 82. That thing was probably like $40,000.
He just destroyed it.
That's government property. What if somebody else wanted to play chess after that? It's like, God damn it, Kurt Russell.
Now, how's this motherfucker wake up after thousands of years in the ice?
And how can it look like a dog?
I don't know how. Because it's different than us, see? Because it's from outer space. What do you want from me? Ask him.
Kurt Russell in all the John Carpenter movies, he's like very different.
Completely different.
And very distinct.
Yeah.
Like, obviously in Escape from New York, he's kind of doing a Clint Eastwood
Clint
impression.
Eastwood, yeah.
About an hour ago, a small jet went down inside New York City. The president was on board.
President of what?
Big Trouble in China, he's doing a John Wayne impression.